Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thank you, Josh Taylor. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this March 17th, 2026. As we always have a lot to talk about, and we want to talk with you. So call the number at 412-575-2600. We'd be happy to do that. I am here at the Fan Cave. Andrew Fillipponi's up at 93.7 The Fan, where tonight...
I didn't know I was doing the nightly sports call with Raymond Floyd. Did you just win the Masters, Bob?
Yeah.
Are you picking out what's going to be on the dinner there at Augusta National next month? What's going on here?
I wear this 2 times a year. I wear it during St. Patrick's Day, and I also do it during the Masters. So you'll see it again coming up in April with a different tie, of course. So, yeah, why not? It's that time of the year. Hey, let's start with the Penguins, just because they won a big game last night in impressive style. Malkin came back and was highly motivated. And then tonight, the New York Islanders kept pace. They beat Toronto 3-1. And then it was Carolina losing at Columbus. They got smacked by the Blue Jackets 5-1. So right now, first place is still available. The Penguins play Carolina twice this week. Tomorrow's a big game, then Sunday. 90-83. That's the difference of 7 points. And the Penguins at 83 tied with the Islanders. Now Columbus 2 behind them at 81, and the Penguins have a game in hand over New York. Your thoughts about this? It's going to go right down to the wire as far as who ends up where.
Yeah, you know, both really, especially the Penguins and the Blue Jackets have really played great over the last month or so. You know, it's a little bit disjointed because of the Olympic break, but those teams have come on. The Penguins have been able to tread water and then some without Sidney Crosby, and last night was, you know, above and beyond what you expect without 87 in the lineup to go to Colorado, a place where the Avalanche never lose, and you kick their butts. I mean, they limited their shots of Colorado over the last 2 periods after a real fire wagon first period. We saw contributions up and down the lineup. Malkin obviously spearheaded everything, but Russ scored. The fourth line got in on the action. Erik Karlsson made an incredible pass to Mantha, who scored a career-high 26th goal. Shelovs was really good when he needed to be and kept that Avalanche potent offense and the power play at arm's length. So I just thought it was a great way to show the rest of the NHL that this is not a fluke team, that they're for real, and they're going to add one of the best players in hockey to their lineup when Sid comes back from this injury. And at that point, I say look out. Carolina is probably going to finish in first place. We'll see these 2 teams again tomorrow night, but they don't have great playoff history. They haven't been able to win a game in the Eastern Conference Final. And the Penguins, I think, have a lot of confidence and a lot of Stanley Cup experience in that dressing room. So I would not count them out right now, Bob. I've done a complete 180 on this team, to having no expectations to feeling like they're going to win a playoff series at least this year.
I think they'll be a very tough out. I'll tell you that if they get in. The way they're playing, 4 lines, they're limiting chances. They're doing very good work in front of the net. And Karlsson, man, this is the Karlsson they traded for. Last couple of years, not what I expected. This year is exactly that. He is just having a lot of fun out there. And don't forget about Elmer Soderblom. He got a goal last night as well. And so he filled in for Blake Lizotte, who was out. So there's a lot of good stuff going there. Venezuela, by the way, just took the lead over the USA 3-2 after Bryce Harper hit a 2-run home run. And that could end up being a devastating loss for them, because they were, you know, obviously the favorites to win this thing. And it's just their offense, man, since midway through the semifinal game, they haven't done much of anything until the Harper home run.
Yeah, I'm still confused now if they don't win, okay? If they don't end up winning this thing, and I know they were able to hold off and defeat Dominican Republic in that low-scoring Sunday night game that did big ratings, and Paul Skeens pitched in and everything else. I still just think the United States team left a lot of great players out of their lineup, and I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know if it's the agent's fault. I don't know if it's the players themselves who declined and didn't want to play. I don't know if it's the teams who blocked guys from playing, but for as good as our team is, it could be even better if the absolute best guys all agreed to play. And, you know, the fact that they don't, I think, still makes you wonder about the quality of this tournament overall. Because there's a lot more buy-in, I think, from Japan, from the Dominican Republic, from Venezuela, than there still is from our team, where I get it, Scooble's got a contract to worry about, but still, we've got guys that are putting the Major League Baseball season way ahead of the World Baseball Classic, and they probably should, because that's where their money gets made. But until that changes, I'm still going to look at this, Bob, as almost a second-tier event when compared to things like the Olympics.
I think they're going to have to move it into an all-star, take a 2-week sabbatical in the middle of a season to do it, just like they do with the Olympics. I think that's the best way to do it, because by then everyone is top-notch, mid-season form. You can make a much better competition and certainly a much better roster. We got to take a break here, Andrew. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines at 412-575-2600. You saw our question of the night, and we'll have it for you when we come back as well. Connor Griffin, should the Pirates, or will the Pirates, give him a long-term deal before the season even started? We don't even know if he's going to be on the roster yet. Think about that during the break and call us with your opinion right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. All right, welcome back. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. And how about this? For the second straight week, Pitt outfielder Lorenzo Carrier was named to Baseball America's National Team of the Week. The reigning consensus National Player of the Week went 8 for 13. That's a .615 batting average with 18 total bases, 8 runs scored, 7 runs batted in, 3 home runs, 1 double, and a partridge in a pear tree. He was outstanding. Congrats to him for Lorenzo Carrier at Pitt Baseball. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. Before I get to that, I want to get your take real quick on what Miami continues to do. $175 million and counting in dead cap money that they've just thrown away now because they've gotten rid of 15 different players. And today, it was Jalen Waddle who ends up going to Denver to a actually big package in return. They got a lot of picks coming up in this draft. They picked up a first, a third, and a fourth today in that deal.
Yeah, Denver's going for it, so I get that. They were in the AFC Championship game last year. I don't understand why Malik Willis, why would you sign him
Good point.
and pay him if you're going to get rid of all his guys?
Who's their wide receivers? They don't have anyone left down there.
They've got Jalen Tolbert, who they brought over from Dallas, and Tutu Atwell. These are backup wide receivers.
Right.
So that's not going to allow for them to get a good evaluation on him, which to me makes it a waste of money and a waste of time. I mean, if you're going to try to get Arch Manning, why don't you actually do it? And not commit really to this season. But the Willis decision now makes their other moves look strange in hindsight. Speaking of Miami, I don't get the Carson Beck thing. I get the Steelers want to do their homework on guys. You've already got Will Howard here. If you draft Carson Beck on day 2, to me that would really set back. It would make me feel like Will Howard's on the back burner, because you would have drafted Beck earlier, I presume. He's not going to be around in the 5th or 6th round. And he's an older player. He's not a guy that came out after his junior year. Okay, this is a guy in his mid-20s. So I thought that was a peculiar note today. Carson Beck here coming for a workout in a meeting with the Steelers. I really have no interest in drafting him, Bob.
Yeah, I don't either. And I was surprised. But again, they have 30 of these visits. They can do what they want with them. Doesn't mean they're going to take them, but they want to do some due diligence here, I suppose. But I agree with you. I'd much rather wait till next year, or if they really, really believe that Ty Simpson's their answer and he's available to them at some point in that first round of 21, then okay, fine. But we'll see.
Well, did you hear what Rod Woodson said today? Do you agree with what Rod Woodson said?
Jackson Dart. I know Joe Starkey does. He loved Jackson Dart, and Woodson said they should have drafted him last year. So.
And he said their quarterback problems wouldn't exist. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I would feel right now, if you were talking about Jackson Dart throwing the ball to Michael Pittman Jr., DK Metcalf, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Warren, young offensive line. Pat Freiermuth, offensive-minded head coach who's called plays and made Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers into good quarterbacks. I would be fired up for them right now. And I think Derek Harmon's a good player, but I'd much rather have a guy that looks like he could be a franchise quarterback, even with his injury history, concussion history, than what the Steelers have right now.
412-575-2600. Let's get to the lines. Wayne is our first caller tonight, and he's the number 1 Cochran Go One Better caller of the night. Wayne's in Reserve Township, and now he's on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. What's up, Wayne?
How you guys doing?
Good. What's going on?
First of all, why are we talking about football when the Penguins are in second place?
Well, football's a weekly thing. They've got all sorts of free agent news, and there's always something to talk about. But go ahead. The Penguins are hot, and I love talking about the Penguins because I think that team is a really good team, and I felt that way pretty much all year.
Yeah, listen. About a month ago, everybody was ripping on the Penguins, and now they're in first place, and everybody's bragging about them. I am a Penguin fan. Listen, man, we're going to the playoffs.
Well, they're not in first place, but that's okay. They're not in first place.
Come on.
They're within 7, though. We'll see what they can do, Wayne. Yeah, I want to see playoff hockey. I missed it 3 years in a row. We haven't had it. I want to see Crosby get these opportunities. Malkin looks possessed, quite frankly, after that 5-game suspension. He had some interesting things to say last night, Andrew. Like, he's willing to wait now.
I agreed with him.
Yeah, I mean,
I loved what he said about the Gudis situation.
Maybe play a year or 2 now, and the way he's playing. Listen, if it's 1 year, I'd give him what he wants or what you think is fair. If it's multiple years, then I think you have to come up with a better number, one that makes sense for the franchise.
Well, I think 2 years is still fair. I mean, if it brings down the price of what he's getting paid per year, I'd give him 2 years. If he wants only 1, then give him a little bit of a raise for next year. Is how I would try to thread that needle.
Right.
He also came out and said that he really didn't understand why he got the same suspension length as Radko Gudis. And I agreed with him when he said that after the game last night. He said this is as confounding and as unpredictable as goalie interference.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, I give Malkin, and we don't really bring this up at all. For a guy that has English as a second language, we saw what he sounded like when he first came into the NHL as a teenager. To listen to him now, Bob, I marvel at how well he's able to communicate his thoughts now, and he was spot on when he said that. I mean, how does he get the same? He brought up, well, they think I'm a repeat offender. They think I'm a bad guy because I have a slashing history. It's nothing like Gudis. Right. Gudis, Trouba, and Tom Wilson should have parking spots reserved for them at the NHL headquarters for when they go meet with George Peros for discipline. But maybe he likes those guys because Peros played a lot like those guys, which is to say he was a dirty player and now he's in charge of NHL discipline.
Well, you've heard Connor McDavid come out and say that something has to happen. This kind of system should change. And I think there are a lot of different things they can do, including, make it so that incremental mistakes and suspensions result in more time. Like the PED thing in baseball, your first offense is worth this, the second time you do it's this, and there's three strikes you're out. You got to figure out something. You can't leave it to the hands of these guys, especially a guy like Peros. And they've had a number of those guys who are, Colin Campbell was the same way, who are big-time hitters. They wanted, old school hockey, and they're, doling out the justice here. And I don't think that's a good thing to go. So I think there will be changes there. I'm not sure who starts that conversation. The general managers' meetings are going on right now in Fort Lauderdale, Andrew. So I'm sure that's going to be on their table to discuss.
Yeah, nice place to have those meetings down in Florida where it's probably not snowing like it is
like the NFL.
Right
it's
now.
Either Arizona or it's Florida. It has to be the best place. And it's the Breakers if it goes into Florida. You know that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think right now Kyle Dubas should be the GM of the year.
And you should be the coach of the year. Although I got to tell you, Lindy Ruff is doing a pretty good job in Buffalo.
No doubt. And the GM there can't win the award because he got fired, which is awfully ironic now when you look back on it. The guy that assembled that team was told he was no longer welcome about a quarter of the way through the season.
And it's amazing what they did. They started badly. They did. And people in Buffalo are saying, here we go again. And all of a sudden, they've turned it on. They have a good mix of veterans as well as younger guys who are really taken up and moved into, very good status on that team. The Tage Thompson, they brought in Tuck from Vegas. He's been a really good player for them. You may not like Rasmus Dahlin because he gets under guys' skins and he forces what Malkin did, but that's the kind of guy who's a really impactful player for them. They're going to be a tough out. And if you had to take a series right now, if it's Pittsburgh, let's say I don't know how it's going to sort out. Who's second? I would prefer Islanders-Pittsburgh, as opposed to dropping into a wild card and have to deal with either Carolina or, worst case scenario, Buffalo. I think Buffalo right now is playing as good as anybody in the league.
Well, I take my chances with Buffalo before I did Tampa, just because of Tampa's history as far as things go with them.
I mean, he's proven.
Yeah, and Vasilevsky, he was a big-time playoff goalie. But honestly, I don't think the Penguins just beat Colorado 7-2. There's not a team, although Colorado's had a magnificent season, I don't really feel like the Penguins are far behind the best teams in the NHL. They've got a top 10 power play. They've got a top 10 penalty kill. They're top 10 in goals scored. They're top 10 in goals against. I mean, they're upper third of the league in every major category, Bob.
Yeah, they
so
are.
that, to me, is the mark of a complete team. And I never thought I'd say that about this team going into the season, but that's a testament to the young guys that have been mixed in, some of these depth guys that have stepped up and had big seasons, and the way that the veteran guys have turned back the clock, like Malkin, like Sid, like Gino. Letang's a guy that goes, Letang and Raquel, Bob, I still think with both of those guys, there's room for them to play better. Both. And they're making a lot of money, and they're proven players. And if those guys click over the next 10, 15 games of the regular season and then the playoffs, the Penguins could be a very dangerous team.
I think they will be. And bringing in guys like Chinikov, Soderblom, you also, all the work he did leading up to this, creating this fourth line that's been together, and Lazat's now signed, and I would imagine Connor Dewar is going to get some money too. We got to take a break, not to mention Mantha. We could talk about him too. How much is it going to cost to keep him here? I'd want him here. We got to go to a break, come back, we'll talk about that when we come back, right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're live on KDKA Plus and 93.7 The Fan. All right, welcome back. We continue. Bob Pompeani, Andrew Fillipponi with you. And USA has just lost. They went down a run in the top of the ninth for Venezuela after Bryce Harper had tied the game with a 2-run dinger. And so 3-2 your final score, and man, a missed opportunity. But as you said earlier, Andrew, this is an incomplete kind of a team given what they were dealing with, and the fact that you have to limit pitchers and what they can do throughout this whole process, I think kind of dampens it. But for Venezuela, they're passionate about it, as was Puerto Rico. They're all Dominican Republic. It's like a World Series for them for sure, and that has to be a tremendous win for Venezuela.
And you see the guy that came through for Venezuela, Suarez, Eugenio Suarez.
Could have been here.
A guy that could have been here, elected to go with the Reds because nobody was offering him big money the way he wanted in free agency, and he's familiar there. And the chase or the pursuit of a third baseman continues for the Pirates, Bob. Who is going to be there on opening day? Is it going to be the big tree, Jared Triolo?
Yep.
Well, here comes about a .230 batting average and good fielding, but not a lot of power. Basically, Key Brian Hayes 2.0.
Very interesting. All right, you see the results. Most people believe the Connor Griffin will not get an extension before the start of the season. Yes or no? Do you think he will or no?
No, I do not.
I don't either. I think he'll be starting in AAA. We'll find out. Season starts in 9 days. Pony, thank you as always. Appreciate that.
Go eat your corned beef, Bob.
Yeah.
And have a Guinness.
I don't like Guinness necessarily, but good night. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you, Bob.